Okay, creating an interactive map, take 2. Now I want to make this map so it doesn't jump around as much and it's seamless and it's smooth. So I've created a vector map which has got some smoother lines in, could be a little better, but we'll go with the one we've got. I'll just go and open this. Opening up the PNG file. So here we go, this is the map I have. And you'll notice it's got some little spaces in between because we're going to need these to be able to draw around each one of the sections of the states here. We're going to need to do this fairly carefully. I'm not going to do as carefully as I could just for time, but you'll get the idea of what we need to do. First of all, we need to just check out the layers. I'm going to just make sure this share layer to states is just deselected there. It's going to cause me problems later on. I'm going to then now check over to the states, and I'm going to duplicate the state because we need to have 2 states, and I'm going to rename these states. The first one I'm going to name normal, and the second I'm going to name rollover. So no difference between either of them. Now I'm going to make sure all our work's going to be done on the rollover state. So what we need to get doing is the rollover information. Let's click on the image and it should bring up some information down into your properties bar. If your properties bar is not turned on, it's under window. You can also find your layers under here, your states, and also your properties. You'll find everything that you need to turn on and off in the way of your tools and extensions here. Right, I'm going down to filters, and I want to adjust the colour on my rollover layer, and I'm going to do this by using the hue and saturation. You can see my default here. I've set it to -84, 38 the saturation. You play around with it, get the colours that you'd like. I'm happy with this particular lot, so I'm going with this. Now if I flick between, I should have 2 different looking colours in the maps here. Happy with that. What we need to do next, we've got to start drawing. First of all, I'm going to select our polygon tool. If it's not selected, it's in the drop down there, the polygon slice tool. Let's get going with this. You're going to notice that I'm going to be fairly rough around the outer edge because I can afford to take up a little more space. There's a couple of different ways to do this. I could do this a little more delicately, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to go for as close as I can. Now I'm just very carefully getting in the blank space in between each of these. And just finish that selection there. Now I'm just going to select off and just see what I've done here. There is my slice there. That is my Western Australia slice here. Now I'm going to drop over here. This one we didn't use a lot last time, but we're going to use the polygon hotspot tool. So I'm going to select this one and I'm going to draw around it, not to the far edge, but just a little way in, because I need a little bit of an edge there. Now just bear in mind the slice is what gets cut, but the polygon hotspot is what activates the rollover. This is going to be the active part of it here. So when the mouse rolls over, it's going to detect the movement and it's going to change the state. Okay, I'm just going to select off there again. Now you see I've got my hotspot, which is in the blue, the cyan, and then I've got the green slice behind it. What I need to do now is move my little central spot here, which has got the little crosshair in it, and pull it across to the edge. You'll see I'll get a little hook that goes around and it connects from the top layer to the bottom layer, from the hotspot to the slice. I'm going to release it. Now I've got a little drop down here. It says normal or rollover. I certainly want to swap to the rollover state. So I'm going to select rollover 2, that's fine. Okay. Now, that's one slice complete. I'm going to show you what this does.